Hello, good morning. Our first issue is Jallianwala Bagh Memorial. Recently, our Prime Minister has renovated Jallianwala Bagh Memorial. What is this memorial? Why it was constructed? It was first opened by our first President of India, that is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, on April 13, 1961. This memorial is a tribute to the victims of Jallianwala Bagh massacre. In the year 1999, against Rowlatt law, many nationalist leaders, many people have gathered in the Jallianwala Bagh as a protest against those laws. In response to this particular massive gathering, British officer E. Daya, he has ordered the fire. So this led to killing of several hundreds of people. This incident is known as Jallianwala Bagh incident. This is considered as one of the dark moments in Indian national history. So in remembrance to this, we constructed Jallianwala Bagh Memorial. Recently it was renovated. Next issue is Gujarat Conversion Law. Recently, this particular law, Amendment Act, Gujarat the Freedom of Religion Amendment Act, certain sections of this act was stayed by the High Court. Ahmedabad interim order has stayed certain sections of the provisions. Gujarat state government said that it would approach the Supreme Court against this interim order. This particular Gujarat Freedom of Religion Amendment Act, this can be said as anti-conversion law. Recently, Ahmedabad High Court said if both the individuals who are majors, even if they are from different religions, if they marry, there is no legal barrier for that. In this context, application of this particular law is unconstitutional. That is the judgment. Against this particular judgment, Gujarat government is trying to move to Supreme Court. Next issue is hydropower projects in Himalayas. Recently, Ministry of Environment has filed an affidavit with the Supreme Court, and it has disclosed that various ministries through consensus have permitted 7 hydroelectricity projects in the Himalayan region. Out of them, one of them is Tapovan Vishnugad project. This particular project, this was washed away during the flash floods of Uttarakhand in February 2021. In this context, construction of hydroelectricity projects in Himalayan states, is it good or not? That's the question. Construction of this hydro projects are dangerous. One, because geologically that's a sensitive region, seismically sensitive region. Second one, it is also highly prone to landslides. In this context, construction of hydro projects, they destabilize the slopes. That's why this particular move has been criticized. Next issue is Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan is India's first human space flight mission. We want to launch this particular mission in the year 2022. Before that, we want to conduct 2 test flights. In this context, ISRO has recently conducted first hot test on the System Demonstration Model (SDM) model of Gaganyaan from the Mahendragiri propulsion system, and then Indian pilots, they were to be returned to Russia for stitching the customized spacesuits, and Russia is also helping with the design of viewports in the crew module and life supporting systems. Gaganyaan system is India's first human space flight mission. Next one is plasmid DNA vaccine. Zycov-D company has manufactured world's first plasmid DNA vaccine. This particular one works like this: DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid, which contains the genetic code of various components of the organism, which produces the antigen that will be placed in the plasmid. Plasmid is a circular DNA in the bacteria. This particular plasmid will be given in the form of vaccine. When this enters into our body, it produces the immune response. This immune response stimulates the T cells and B cells. This leads to immunity in our body, which is the primary function of vaccine. So this is completely safe, and the clinical trials have shown that immunogenicity of this particular vaccine is good. And one more significant point of this particular vaccine is this can be administered to the people from 12 years. Next issue is technology transfer of oxygen concentrators. What are oxygen concentrators? These are the equipment which take the air from the atmosphere, which separates the oxygen and which can be used as a life supporting system. These oxygen concentrator, indigenous designedly oxygen concentrators at IISc Bangalore, these have been transferred to, technology has been transferred to 24 companies. Already about 35 units have been supplied to various hospitals based on this indigenous design. This has become successful. Such indigenous models and designs of medical equipments are necessary because earlier during the second wave period and first wave period, we were dependent upon other countries for imports. Now, especially during the second stage, due to the heavy oxygen shortage, we were importing oxygen concentrators. Now that dependency will reduce. Next issue is discovery of insulin and BCG vaccine 2021 marks centenary for these two important things. One, discovery of insulin in 2021 at the University of Toronto, Canada. After that, insulin enzyme has been artificially administered to the diabetic patients. Next one is discovery of BCG, Bacillus calmette-guerin. This is the vaccine for TB, tuberculosis in humans. This BCG is the only licensed vaccine available for prevention of TB. TB is very important and highly contagious disease. In this context, discovery of these two marks a significant in the human history. Next issue is IPO of LIC. IPO means Initial Public Offering. Initial Public Offering of Life Insurance Corporation LIC. This is the public sector undertaking. Central government is planning and is ready to go for IPO. Initial Public Offering means listing the stocks of this company for the first time. That is known as Initial Public Offering. So this initial public offering will be done in two stages because recently many IPOs were there. So funding crunches are there. That's why in two stages government wants to go for this particular IPO. This is the largest insurance firm in India, state-owned insurance company. This will help the government to meet its disinvestment targets. Overall, 10% of the issue of shares will be reserved for the policy holders. That means out of the total shares that will be issued under IPO, 10% would be reserved for the policy holders. As of now, LIC's market stake is 66% of total insurance, and then it has invested in 300 companies. So huge capacities are there. That there is a criticism for this too. The criticism is that if LIC is diversifying, that might lead to strategic issues, all the investments that it has done. So there are many issues with regard to that, but as of now, IPO is in news. Next issue is National Monetization Pipeline. National Monetization Pipeline, in the last 3-4 days, we are reading about it. National Monetization Pipeline is a 6 lakh crore project under which public assets are given in the form of lease to the private sector. So there are certain risks associated with this. What are the risks? One, the asset allocation might be subjected to the political influence. Two, money coming from the private sector will be diversified to the public sector. That means government spending will increase, but private sector will reduce. Then it is not addressing the core issue, that is bond market for infrastructure should be strong. In other countries, bond markets are strong, but in our country, bond market is weaker. This move will divert the government's attention from bond market to this. Next one is leasing airports and other public infrastructure. It might increase the cost of services. So we, that is consumers, might have to pay more money. That is one more issue. And lack of competition leads to monopoly. Less outcomes to the consumers. These are some of the issues. Next issue is restoration of backward classes policy. 105th Constitutional Amendment Act, 127th Constitutional Amendment Bill, both are same. So this was notified after the assent of the President Ramnath Kovind. This particular Constitutional Amendment Act has restored the power of the states to identify socially and educationally backward communities. Earlier, In the 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act, this power was given only to President of India in consultation with Governor. So, in this context, backward classes list can be identified by states too, according to the amendment. This restored the provisions of the federalism. Next issue is creamy layer. Recently, Supreme Court has observed that economic criteria alone cannot be the sole basis for identifying a particular individual or a family as creamy layer. In Indira Sahni case to 1992, Supreme Court has clearly mentioned that OBC reservations are valid, but OBC reservations can be given only to the weaker communities. Highly advanced communities needs to be excluded from the OBC reservations. That's why this particular judgment has recommended for going for creamy layer. So based on this creamy layer provision was introduced, various states in their state reservations they are implementing the creamy layer provision. Recently, Haryana backward classes, this particular notification has said that those with above 6 lakh income will be declared as creamy layer. That case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has said that economic criteria alone need not be the basis for creamy layer. Other conditions might can also be taken into consideration. Next issue is Malabar Rebellion. Recently, Indian Council of Historical Studies, a committee appointed by ICHR, it has said that Malabar Rebellion, those who have participated in Malabar Rebellion, cannot be called as freedom fighters, and it has recommended to remove their names from the dictionary of freedom fighters. In this context, what is this Malabar Rebellion? In the year 1921, this Malabar Rebellion, which is also known as Mappila Rebellion, has happened. There are diversified views about it. Some say that it is part of freedom struggle because this has happened during the non-cooperation movement. Some say that it is a class oppression. Some say that it is Hindu genocide. So in this context, if we observe the historical context of this region in 1500s, Portuguese, they entered through sea route and they established the trading routes. Mappilas resisted for a lot of time, but they lost out. Poverty became the general pattern among the Mappila Muslim community. Hindus were the dominant community over there. So in this context, 19th century has saw outages. So 1921 saw large-scale revolt wherein 2,000 rebels were killed. Nearly 40,000 people were surrendered. So this has multiple interpretations. Next issue is Beyond the Glass Ceiling. B.V. Nagaratna. She is one of the judges recently recommended to the Supreme Court under the collegium system. She may be the first woman Chief Justice of India in 2027 based on the seniority norm. She'll have only 1 month of tenure, but this would start the era of first women CJI in our Supreme Court. So in this context, what we have to do, this should not be one-off phenomena. More and more women into judiciary, for that matter, all other sectors should be encouraged. Our last concept is retrospective taxation law. Recently, central government has notified certain rules regarding retro taxation law. Government has enacted Taxation Law Amendment Act 2021. It has scrapped the tax rules from the Income Tax Act, which was added in the year 2012, which has imposed the retrospective taxation from last 50 years. So this has changed, and the retrospective taxation rules, the recent rules, they ask the companies which have filed the case against India to take the cases back, and government will give back the interest. Government will give the tax that is paid to the government back to those companies. But first of all, they have to take out all the cases that were filed against India. These are the articles for today. Thank you very much. All the very best.